Okay, question 3.1 says, sketch the graph represented by the following equations in the answer book. Each graph must be drawn on its system of axes. Name the type of function and show all the values at the points of intersection with the system of axes where applicable. 3.1.1, you are given x squared divided by 9 plus y squared is equal to 1. For us to sketch this graph, we must find the x and the y intercept. Okay, the y-intercept. So let's start with the x-intercept. X-intercept. Okay. So the rule, it says in x-intercept, we let y. Okay, let me maybe write it in full. This one. X-intercept, you let y be 0. Where in this equation, you let y be 0 in this equation, x squared over 9 plus y squared is equal to 1. Whenever you see y, what do you put? You put a 0. Okay, so you've got x squared over 9 plus 0 is equal to 1. So therefore you've got x squared over 9 is equal to 1. Then this is a fraction. Now let's make this one a fraction. After making a fraction versus another fraction, then you cross multiply this by this and this by this. Then what is x squared times 1? You're going to get x squared. What is 9 times 1? The answer is 9. Okay, let's go down. So we've got x squared minus 9 is equal to 0. Now let's solve for x. This is a difference of two squares, x and x. What is the square root of a 9? Is 3 and 3. But because it's a negative 9, it means another 3 is going to be positive. Another 3 is going to be negative, is equal to 0. Then when you solve for x, x plus 3 is equal to 0, or x minus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to negative 3, or x is equal to 3. Okay, you don't need to show this calculation because the question is, it says you sketch the graph. So for now, we've got only the x values. What does that mean? It means we've got other points on the graph where x is equal to 3. Let's put it in a coordinate form where x is equal to negative 3, whereas y is equal to 0. And another point on the graph where x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 0. Now let's move to the y-intercept. Okay, so when it comes to y-intercept, we must let x be 0. Where do we let x be 0? You let b equal to 0 using the original equation. So the original equation is this one. It says x squared over 9 plus y squared is equal to 1. So in place of x, you put a 0, 0 over 9 plus y squared is equal to 1. What is 0 over 9? It's 0. So what is left is y squared is equal to 1. Therefore, y squared minus 1 is equal to 0. Then you solve. You find the factors of y. It's okay. Let's use this side. Okay, let's use this side. You've got y squared minus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, open up two brackets. For y squared is y and y. For 1, it's a perfect square. So what is the square root of 1? It's 1 and it's 1. Then because it's a negative, it means another 1. Y plus, we're going to have another bracket is going to be y plus 1. And another bracket is going to be y minus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, let's solve for x. Finally, y is equal to negative 1, or y is equal to positive 1. What does that mean? If we put it in a coordinate form, x is 0, whereas y is equal to negative 1. Or x is 0, whereas y is equal to 1. So these are our factors. So let us go back to our graph. Okay, the graph paper, if it's not provided, you must use your ruler. Okay, in sketching the graph, use your ruler and your lead pencil in case you make a mistake. In fact, all the drawings must be drawn with a lead pencil. Okay, now let us plot our points. We've got this point. Let's start with this point. It says when x is negative 3, y is equal to 0. So this is the point. The second point, when x is equal to 3, y is equal to 0. So this is the point. Okay, now the third and the fourth point is this one. Okay, let me use a blue. Is this one, the third one, then this is the fourth one. Okay, it says when x is equal to 0, then y is equal to negative 1. Okay, it's fine. Let me use a red. Y is equal to negative 1. When x is equal to 0, y is equal to 1. Okay, the spaces in between, they are too small as you can see, but it's fine. Then you join these points. You join this point. Okay. Okay. Then if the question says you must also show the okay, because what is going to happen here, I don't want to use an eraser, because if I use an eraser, it's going to erase everything. So now label, clearly label, x here is 0, y is equal to 1. X here is 3, y is equal to 0. X here is 0, y is equal to negative 1. And x here is negative 3, y is equal to 0. And the name of this graph, we call it ellipse. So what do you notice about ellipse? Its shape is like an egg. It's an oval shape. But its name is ellipse. Then if you have shown all the coordinates, you get a mark for this, you get a mark for this, you get a mark for this one, you also get a mark for this one. Okay, so I think all the others, they are half mark. So it's a half mark, which is 1, 2, and then another mark, you'll get it when you on the name, which is 1 full mark. Okay, I'm sure you can see we start with the x and the y intercept. Therefore x intercept, we let y be equal to 0, the first step, and then you solve for x, and then the next step you calculate the y-intercept by letting x be equal to 0. Then you calculate your value of y, and then these are your values of y. Then after that you plot the points. So what I was saying is, you don't need to show all of these calculations. You don't need to show. What you need to do is to sketch the graph and name the graph. You can maybe even label the graph. What is this graph? So this graph was given as x squared. Okay, let me write it here. So it was given as x squared. Just hope everything is going to be clear. So let me use a red. So it was given as x squared over 9 plus y squared is equal to 1. So you can write next to this equation the name of the graph is ellipse. Then you get a mark for that. All the other marks, this is a half mark, half mark, half mark, half mark. So 1, 2, then 1 full mark for the labeling and the name of the graph, which is the total of 3 marks. So you get a total of 3 marks. Thank you.